What's up, everybody? So we are back here with another base tour of my main account by request. We have Jason W. King, level 75 here, so he's slowly creeping his way up. We're going to take a more specific look at the items that we have here. We have a nice gold boosting helmet, and the other helmet that we used a lot is typically the fire helmet over here. This one has a lot of fire shield. And even though they recently changed the fire shield so it's not as effective, it is still always nice to have that 1400 fire shield right there. Moving on over to capes. We don't have anything other than this 11.1 gold boosting cape, but still this is a great cape. You always want to have gold boosting items. Dramatically increase the loot that you get. For the chest area, we're wearing with this ancient obsidian armor because it has nearly 1,000 more HP than this one over here. Even though it has a little bit less fire shield, that extra HP makes a big difference. And these other ones we just haven't had the need to sell them, but I do like the design of the dusty obsidian armor. Very cool looking. Pauldron, we have one fire pauldron over here. Huge amount of fire shield, 1673. And this is where things get interesting. We have weapons and our gloves. So for the sword, we're using a mighty boulder sword. It has 167.5 blunt damage. You can see we used to use the shining frost club, which only had 95.5 frost damage. Frost is really cool because it actually slows down the towers and also the units. So frost on the skull towers makes it fire really slow, about 50% or so. And same thing with the units. I would love it if I could actually hit the firebolt towers with a frost weapon, because then it would slow down the rate of fire and cause those firebolt towers to do way less damage. But unfortunately, the hero cannot reach the firebolt tower, so that's a null point there. And then again, for gloves, we have these purple gloves over here, 103 bonus blunt damage. Moving on down to the rings, a nice 12.9% gold boosting ring. And then we have a leadership ring down here for when we're trying to push up in the leaderboards. 389.4 is a very high amount of leadership for a ring. For belts, we don't have anything besides the 11% gold boosting belts. And then here's our boot collection. We actually do have a nice boot collection. We have a 9% gold boosting boot now. We just picked that up. So we have to eventually, sell off our 6.9%. But the boots were the hardest item to find. It took us, several months to actually get a boot with this percentage. Then we also do have an 18.6 speed boosting boot, which is great for when you're pushing up into the leaderboards. We ended up grabbing an ice boot just for the heck of it a while back because I believe it was really cheap. It was bought with gold. So it's just been sitting, chilling over here. And that is the hero right there. So let you see the hero in all its glory. Definitely need to change off these boot color. You can see at the back there the boots are kind of like a greenish. Definitely doesn't look very cool. And some people asked, why don't I colorize my hero? Well, I actually do colorize my hero. I like the black, dark red schemes. I like those kind of color schemes. So, that is me colorizing my hero. See, that doesn't really go with that scheme, and neither do any of these. These are all darker, so I think I'll have to keep with that color scheme right there. It definitely looks pretty cool in my opinion. We can go ahead and send him to Facebook land. Share him with all the peeps out there. So nothing else has changed building-wise. Most of the buildings are max level. We are using this funky little design over here that I haven't changed since I did that open base to test some things out for the developers. So again, we are using this weird, funky design, and it's actually been fairly effective. We've been staying around 3,500 trophies. And like I said in other videos, a lot has to do with the levels of the towers and the level of the blockades. We have level 10 blockade there, we have level 12 blockade there, level 10. All our blockades are at least level 9. I believe they're all level 10. So they start having massive amounts of HP. So here's a level 10 blockade. Here's a level 11, so you can see it gains like 3,000 HP. And then finally, the level 12 blockade. Again, another about 3,000 HP. This thing is a beast, 18,560 HP. So what I did in this base was a real quick rundown. By no means this is a great base, but it does have some key points. This corner right here is a nice little death box. It has a lot of DPS from these towers. And then when you get closer, it has a snake tower over here. The snake tower does a good amount of damage now. And so if you try and attack the tower and come over here to the corner, you're going to get some poison damage and take a nice amount of poison from the snake tower. Then again, it has this connectivity choke points. So the ranged troops are going to sit over here, shoot away against all the reinforcement troops. The main battle should be waging down here, and it's a fairly long path to get through with the hero. And if the hero does rush over here, he's going to take some fire from the bomb tower, from the skull towers. The fireball tower as well will hit him. Then he gets down here to help his reinforcement troops, and he's stuck between a couple skull towers there, a skull tower here, a firebolt tower over here. So he's going to be taking a lot of damage, and most likely if you do end up rushing like that, you will end up dying in this area. If not, if you do make it out of that, then we have the next big pit of death. Over here we have a firebolt tower in this corner, we have a skull tower, a couple skulls, a couple firebolts. So this right here is a nice corner of DPS. The spikes, I'm not sure they do anything, but they're just there for added, damage just in case. I just threw random spikes in there just to kind of mess around and see what they would actually do, if they'd actually do anything. Really, spikes aren't very effective, but if I put blockades here, it wouldn't be as much of a death trap because it slows the opponent down. And if you have a blockade here, it's going to block off here, so only this tower will attack the hero. Once you break that down, you're going to have this tower pretty much dead because you're going to be sitting on the corner and using a Sonic Blast or Blade Storm and attacking blockade and the tower at the same time. So try this out. It has been working fairly well. Again, like I said, we've been staying around the 3,500 range. Show some attack history and call it quits here. So you notice that a lot of the players are using the standard Blade Storm, Heal, and Sonic Blast still. That is the most effective spell combination that I've found. We do have a couple people that are using Sonic Blast, Blade Storm, and Sword Rain. They did, fairly well. They 100%ed. Then we have some people there that failed with that setup. The downside to this, though, is that I'm not really winning that many gems from defenses. As you can see here, we went through about 15 or 20 defenses here, and there's really no gems that I've earned. So I will be redesigning the base design and focusing more on a straight base to trap some gems again, because, of course, really, the trophies don't mean anything, and it's all about getting the gems and getting the loot. So if you have gems, you could actually buy loot, or you could buy gold shields, or you can buy nice hero items. So getting those gems from defense is really, really important, and that's one of the most important things that I look for when I build a base. Like I said, I haven't had much time to tweak this around and change it more into a death trap, and that's probably what I'll be doing later today. I also have a request to go and attack Snicked, and I thought that'd be kind of cool to go attack the other YouTuber, Snicked. Is very, very, high level king, advanced player, great analysis and great videos. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing next. So keep an eye out for that video, and it should be fun.